everybody, and welcome back. So today we are going to talk about having a success stash. I know some of you guys were like, wait, what? A what? A weight loss success stash. And this was something I learned through failing miserably. I was a weight loss failure for more than a decade. And when I started trying to lose weight again after having our second baby, and I started floundering and flopping and failing. And I really struggled when I would leave the house. When I was home in my own environment, in control of everything, I had better success. But when I would leave, going to run errands or going, if you work outside of the home or to a soccer game or a concert, I would just make horrible decisions. And that is when I was like, all of a sudden I was like, no. So having a success stash, let me explain what that is. Most of the time when we leave the house, have you ever left the house and you wound up being gone longer than you thought you were going to be? And then all of a sudden you were like, oh man, I'm hungry, or you got hungry, or you got a craving, or whatever it is while you were gone. And so when I first started losing weight, I had bad habits. I had morbidly obese habits. And so when I got put into a situation where I had to make a decision on the fly of what to eat, I would most often go back to those bad habits that helped me get to where I was at. Because first we form our habits and then they form us. So eventually along the way to losing weight, you will develop some good habits. But in the beginning, when crunch time happens, you operate out of default, which is bad habits. And so I finally just said, no, I am not going to leave the house without water. I'm going to have water with me, and I'm going to have a success stash. And for me, that looked like taking a healthy snack with me. So what if I would leave the house to go to the grocery store? Because again, anytime I got in the car and left, there was a temptation to go through the drive-thru. There was a temptation to go and pick up a snack at the store and eat it on the way home. There was temptations to eat things that weren't going to help me get to my goal. So whenever I left the house, I would never ever leave without having a success stash. Water and a healthy snack. That way, when I got in a pickle, when I got hungry, when I got a craving, I was controlling the environment and I was giving myself a convenient option to help combat those bad habits, which had gotten me to where I was, which is morbidly obese, busting out of a size 22. Are you with me? So let me just give you an example of some things that are in my success stash. One is typically a piece of fruit, and that's going to depend on what is available for that time of the year. Most often it's an apple. I like Gala apples, and I also like an apple because I don't have to, I can weigh it, see how many grams it is, track it. It's either going to be a small, medium, or large apple, but it's an apple. If I'm going to do something like grapes or strawberries, I'm going to portion those out. Grapes can be a trigger food because they have a higher sugar content. And so grapes can be one of those things that you eat 3 servings before you ever even realize it. So if you're going to do something like grapes, make sure you measure it out. Bananas are fine. Bananas just are going to be a little higher in calories, a little higher in carbs. I actually did a video where I talked about the 5 best fruits for weight loss and the 5 worst fruits for weight loss. Believe it or not, now all fruits are better than a Big Mac, but there are certain fruits that are better for weight loss than others. But, and so sometimes it could be a peach, it could be, strawberries. The thing I like about an apple, I can put it in my purse. It's self-contained. It doesn't get mushy. It's just, so typically a piece of fruit. Rice cakes. These are also a really good option for a success stash. The tomato basil, they're my favorite. The chocolate are really good. The caramel are really good. And like if I'm traveling, I'll buy these ahead of time. They're light, they don't weigh anything. And I'll travel with a sleeve of these because typically they're anywhere from 30 to 50 calories depending on the flavor. And you can eat several of them. They fill you up. They taste, sweet or salty depending on which ones you get. And they're just a really good snack when you're on the go. They're not super messy or anything like that. These I discovered, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. And these are Smart Sweets. So these, they have them in gummy bear, they have them in the gummy bears. They have them in the Sour Blast Buddies. They have the peach rings. They have Swedish fish. Here's what I love about these. you're keeping your sugar low, but one packet is this one's 90 calories, this one's 100, this one's 100. So again, it's pre-portioned out. And if I take this with me, it's gonna hit my sweet craving without, and again, it's one portion. So even if I eat the entire bag, it's a portion. Another great thing that will be in my success stash a lot, carrot sticks. You know, I'll put 10 or 12 carrot sticks in a bag. That'll be, so I typically don't do a lot of nuts. And here's why. Nuts have been sold to us as a healthy snack. Now, nuts do have healthy fats in them, but nuts are very, very, very high in calories. And you're not gonna get your biggest bang for your buck with foods like nuts, because the calorie for how many you don't get a lot, and it's super high in calories. So I could eat 3 whole rice cakes or an apple and a rice cake for like 16 almonds. So if you're gonna do nuts and you just love nuts, and you're gonna have a jar of nuts in your desk at work, like so many times I'll talk to clients and I'll be like, okay, do you have a success stash at work? So like, yep, I have a thing of nuts. Are they pre-bagged and portioned out? No, I just grab a handful. I tested this one time. Now my handful might be bigger than your handful, but I just took what I would have normally eaten as a 288-pound woman as a serving, which was just a handful. And I weighed it. And my handful, AKA serving of nuts, was 600 and some calories. So here I was, you know, I would try to lose weight. I would go get things like nuts. And for my snack, I was consuming 600 and some calories. Don't make that mistake. If you're going to have something like nuts at your desk, in your desk drawer, take some plastic baggies in there, pre-portion them out. And if you're going to reach for that in the middle of the day for some energy or whatever, only eat what's in the bag. Only eat or count out the nuts. And then, you know, anyway. So that's, and look, I'm going to tell you. I used to be a big snacker in the car. And I used to be a big on the fly, on the go eater. And if I am at the grocery store and I am hungry, I'll pick up an apple. I will pick up an apple. I used to always, when I would go grocery shopping, I would pick up either a cold peach or a cold apple, and I would eat it on the way home. And I got to look forward to that for my first several months of losing weight. So I'm telling you, having a success stash, game changer. A healthy snack, water. Don't leave home without it. What's their credit card where they're like, don't leave home without it? That's your success stash. Do not leave home without it if you're serious about succeeding. So anyway, let me know in the comments if you are, what would you put in your success stash? If you're going to make a success stash to keep in your drawer at work or to start leaving the house when you leave the house, what would be in your success stash? Make sure if you haven't, give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss any of our weight loss tips, our fit tips, our health tips, and our low calorie recipes here on the channel. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.